Number one. Okay. Anyway, we are live, regardless of whether this works on YouTube or not. We are, there we go. There we go. Perfect. Nope, not yet. We're just starting. All right, awesome. We are live on YouTube and we are live on Facebook. Sorry for the technical glitches this morning. I got up late, I'll be honest. My niece is visiting us. That's kind of fun, but we stayed up a bit too late last night, having too much fun. Chatting, talking, catching up, and everything. She's here from college for a couple of days just because she's doing some stuff for college in the area. Anyway, Racine Family Mornings. Welcome, welcome, welcome this morning to Racine Family Mornings and the things that you can know and do about Racine. So today is Real Estate Rewind, which means today is the day that I give you one of my stories from when I first started in real estate or even just from sometime in the past. So a fun story, a good story, something that's really a lot of fun. Well, I will tell you about one time when today's story is all about this great family who was moving into the area, and we needed to help them find a house, but they had no family here. They had nobody to help out. They were renting a place, so they had a rental place, but they really didn't have very many friends here. And they were the first of their family to come to this area. Their other family members were probably going to be following them from another state. But they were like the first party out, and they had two little ones. And so much fun. Those kids were so much fun. And how do I know they were so much fun? Well, here's what we did. Because they had these two little ones that were like maybe 2 and 4 or 3 and 5. I actually don't remember their ages. But what we did is every time we went on showings, instead of it just being Russ as the buyer's agent who took them on their showings, I actually took them on showings as well. Oh, wait, hold on. I didn't do this. We need to get to this so we can get to the right camera here. So if you do find any value in this content today, do us a favor, click like, subscribe, turn on that notification bell if you're on YouTube so you don't miss any of our content any morning. And if you're on Facebook, do me a favor, give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment, and share it. Share. Sharing is probably the biggest thing you can do to help people know about this. So anyway, back to our story, because we've only got a couple of minutes left to tell this story since we had some glitches. By the way, I can see, because of what Russ did, I can see your comments. If you have a comment, go ahead and drop it in up here. Russ, as I told you the other day, I think Russ put in this great screen up here so I can actually see the comments while I'm broadcasting. So yay! So I can glance over here and then glance back at you guys. But we had these two great kids. And why do I know that they were great kids? Well, here's the reason. Because sometimes what we have done, and actually we're developing a package that is what we call our Premier Family Experience package for our real estate, because we realize that families, when you are going out to look at stuff, it's, it can be a really daunting task when you've got a lot of kids or got even a couple of kids, even one or two can be daunting. So we're developing a new package actually. And if you want to know more about that, just drop me a line on it, but it's in development right now. We should have it ready to go in a couple of weeks, but this particular family struggled because they didn't have any babysitters that they really knew or trusted. They didn't really know people in this area. They didn't have any family in this area that they could keep the kids with. And because of the age of their kids, it was really, really hard because taking these kids on showings was really, really difficult. So, yeah. So anyway, what they did and what we did was both Russ and I went on the showings, and every time we'd get to a showing, Russ would get out of the car and he'd go start to open the front door. I would go over to the parents' car. I would jump in the front seat and take mom's place. Mom and dad would get out of the car. I'd jump in the front seat. Kids were still strapped in their car seats, and I jumped in the front seat with my iPad, and we pulled up Dora the Explorer, couple of other, I can't even remember what all they were. And I can't remember exactly what we pulled up, but I had my iPad out there connected to the internet, and we sat and watched videos, and I played with those kids in the car. Now, why was that important? Well, because those kids were at the age where if we took them into a house, we have found a problem sometimes that kids, when they go into a house, it's a natural thing and it's not a bad thing. It's not being a bad kid, but they want to touch and feel things. They see something new. They want to touch it. They want to experience it. And that's what kids want to do. And we found that these kids were very curious and bright and intelligent, and they wanted to see all these things, but this is other people's stuff. And especially it became a problem when it was a small toy. Oh my goodness. That was just, and so we developed this strategy where basically we both went on the showing, but I was a little bit of a babysitter. I would jump in the car, I'd babysit the kids, and I'd have fun with the kids, and we really enjoyed it. What that did for mom and dad was it gave them so much less stress. Like, mom and dad could now go in the house with Russ, knowing that their kids were in a safe space in their car seats with me in the car. This was like in the springtime, so it wasn't too hot, it wasn't too cold, so they could just turn the car off. And we had a couple of windows rolled down, so we just had a nice little breeze. And we'd sit there and we'd chat. But you know what? Mom and dad didn't have to get them out of car seats, didn't have to get them back into car seats, didn't have to do this, that, the other. And it was so awesome and amazing. And that was what we did to solve that problem. And to be honest, I really loved it. It was so much fun. I used to teach really little kids, actually a couple different times in my life. When I was 12, 13, 14, I did a ton of babysitting. Actually, up through 18, 20, I did a ton of babysitting. And also, when I first came back to this area of the country, to the southeastern Wisconsin area, I used to teach in my church. I used to teach the pre-kindergarten kids. So the pre-K 3 and 4-year-olds in my church on Sunday mornings. And that age is so much fun. We just love having around them. And you know what? So much more fun for the kids to be in the car with me, being able to watch some videos, having a laugh, having a joke, having somebody to talk to and interact with, than having to go into somebody else's house and being told, no, 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 don't touch, don't touch. And of course, mom and dad then could focus on actually looking at the houses. And mom and dad were able to just look at the house and not have to think about kids and not have to have all that clutter in their brain. They could just evaluate the house and not be worried about their kids breaking somebody else's stuff or things of that nature. So that is my real estate rewind. One of the things that we did that was so much fun for me. I absolutely loved it. And we would do it again for sure. 100%. In fact, part of our new Racine family experience package has that helpful kid element in it. So like I said, if you want to know more about that, let me know. Come back to me and I will absolutely give you the details on that. So you can shoot me a text at 262-676-2383 if you want to know more about our premier family experience package for buyers, and that can be super helpful. There's lots of great things that are just geared just for families. We have our standard packages like most agents, but we also have a couple of specialty packages, and our premier family experience package is one that we are developing for this year for 2025. So if you want more information about it, let me know. But that was so much fun, spending time with the kids, getting to know them, and giving them a great experience so that they didn't have to get in and out and in and out and in and out of the car. So if you have any questions, let me know. But otherwise, we are less than 15 minutes in today. Awesome, amazing, and I hope to see you soon. Bye for now.